Hey guys, I'm Morthadon, and we are back for My Hero Academia Season 8, Episode 9. Oh man, we are on to the last 3 episodes. We have defeated All For One and Shigaraki, it seems. So, I think we're going to be moving into Aftermath territory, and maybe, like, where are they grown up at some point within these last 3, I hope. I would love to see it, considering we were stuck with them all within their like first year of middle school or whatever, or high school, whatever it was. Um and I'd love to just see them aged up a little more. Where I kind of wish they aged up a little more as the story went on, but um probably my only gripe with the story is how like so much happened but so little time had passed. But regardless, I absolutely love this show. So yeah, let's jump into this and see where we go next. Alrighty, we're gonna start here in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, now. Washington, America! Hmm, damn. Cool. What winds will change? Little All Might. The itchy nose hairs, man. Man, that imagery of like Midoriya punching and the lightning that he normally has around him, like splattering across the water, looked really cool. I don't know that we ever actually got that, unless it just happened so quick in the animation of one of the fights when we were in the water. Maybe I just missed it. He showed up after the fighting's done. A week. Everyone's using their quirks to heal. This guy. Is that his quirk to shoot water? Whoa! That's cool. Nice. Oh no. Damn. Wow. I didn't really mess up his arms so bad. Yeah. He went ham, man. He really did. Ah, they're in the same room again. Damn. Hmm. Yeah. Hmm. How are you walking around? Oh. Uh. Workless again. Damn. That's his rival, though. Oh. Oh. Holy shit. Dude, Bakugo's journey. Oh my god, it's eye. God damn, man. Yeah. Yeah. Damn. There's the scar from the opening. I don't even remember when he really got that wound on the eye, but it was probably just from... What? That was an abrupt change of music. Oh, did she cut her hair? Let's go, Present Mike. Weird, huh? Nice. Higher beats per minute. Nice. Hey. No jokes. Damn, what a line. Yeah, that was a really good line. Everyone's out of their chair still. Yeah, Night Eye. Oh, I didn't realize Midoriya's hair. Oh my god, her. Hey. He's gonna be their homeroom teacher again. That's nice. Hey! He's leaving. Oh wow, okay. Nice. That's awesome. Shinso? Yeah, of course. That makes sense. Of course. Oi! Hmm. Hmm. Oh. She was... Yeah, they... I remember Eraser talking about how he... She was... She might have even been in one of the flashbacks when he, expelled everyone, but then brought them back to make them experience, like, death in a way, you know? A loss of something. And the first year finally ends, and we move into the second. Hmm. What was it that made him pause like that? Was it something she said? I might have missed what is he up to? Uh, they're all burnt up. Oh, he's alive? Is Dobby alive? Oh my god. I thought he died back then. This man just cannot give up. Ugh. Oh wow. I can't believe he's still alive. I kind of forgot he lost his arm too, with all the craziness. Damn. Oh, man. Hmm. Wow. Is he gonna answer as he's going away? Oh, that's what he likes too. I think, right? Yeah. Wow. Damn. Wow. It's his choice. Oh, nice. Damn. Oh shit. Alright. Yeah. Oh. The driver. He's still got people looking out for him. Aw. Hawks. Oh, does he have a sword? He doesn't have his quirk anymore, right? Ah, the Hellish Todoroki family finale. Or final. Alright. I need to go back. I was too busy reading the top part. I missed the last line that Hawk said, but we'll let the credits roll out just in case there's after credits. But man, this is really good. I know I probably didn't say too much, but I was just kind of taking it in, you know. I'm just enjoying this. And we covered a lot of like aftermath. I feel like in this episode, so I feel like there's like my hope for the characters when they're a little older, you know, I feel like it's still there. There's still room. All right, preview. Let's see. What is he? Uh, what does Hawk say? That's it, by the way, for episode 9. I think I forgot to say that. Somebody's watching. I was too busy reading the episode title. I didn't see what his last line. Brave guy. And then he, how will things change? How will we change them? Mr. Mara. This is Hawks, the new Public Safety Commission president. Oh, okay. Because the Safety Commission lost, like, all of their members. Did they all get killed, I think? So that makes sense that he would take over it. Not just be the underground person, but now that he's now that he's quirkless and everything, he's going to be running it, which is good because they were kind of... I don't know if I necessarily want to... I mean, they were doing some shady shit, right? Like, back with Lady Nagant era, they were doing like, oh, we need to kill these villains before they commit crimes because they're the type of people that will commit crimes, you know? And that's not great. Not a great thing to be doing. So at least maybe he can toe the line and not do some of those bad things, right? And manage the safety commission better this time. But yeah. So most of this episode, I think, was roughly a week after the events. People are rebuilding, obviously, with quirks. They've even talked about how, like, building and construction with quirks and everything is so much quicker. So they were saying something that's going to take 10 years. I don't know. I still don't know how long it's going to take them. But with all the quirks and the help from other countries and everything, hopefully it doesn't take them too long to rebuild for everyone. But yeah, we had that little scene with Bakugo, and him might not be able to move his arm anymore, which is kind of ironic considering that was the fate that Midoriya was at risk of facing the whole time, right? Like, he was using his arms, like, if there was that whole thing, if you exert your arms to this force 2 or 3 more times, you might not be able to move them anymore. And now we have Bakugo here who might not be able to move one of his arms anymore, and but he's like, I believe in Bakugo's rehabilitation. I believe that man will not give up. He will push his, like, limits 24 hours a day trying to move that hand. He'll be trying to move it while he's asleep until he finally does. So I'm sure he will eventually get back to fighting for him. But that's one of the things that My Hero does best, right? Is it leaves permanent scars, as we see with Midoriya's face and head. Like, he has a big scar going across the side of his head. He has one under his eye. Bakugo has one under his eye now. Like, a lot of the characters are scarred and worn. The burns on the Todoroki family and everything, So, but yeah, it was really good. Really, like, sad at some moments too, but we're nearing the end, which is making me extra emotional just getting towards the end of the show. But Bakugo crying, like, hearing Midoriya might not have a quirk anymore, thinking back to how he treated him before, thinking that they were gonna have this rivalry where they could, maybe still work together and still, like, try to surpass each other. And I think, like, through that rivalry was a way that Bakugo felt like he could make amends for the things that he did, was by having a proper rivalry with Midoriya. But if, Midoriya did say he still has some embers and he still feels it burning in there, so I guess maybe there's a chance that it doesn't go away. Maybe he just gave up, like, the extra quirks and he has, like, the physical strength still. I don't know. I'm curious what all he has left and how long it will last. Maybe if we see into the future, we'll know whether he is, still able to do hero work with what's left and everything. So, yeah. But that was just really sad with him breaking down like that. Once again, just the evolution of Bakugo is just, we went from this, like, bundle of pure anger to bundle of pure anger with some, like, hint of, like, jealousy of, like, him realizing that there are other strong people in this world too. Way back in season 1, he kind of, like, admitted that and everything, to his his first breakdown after he lost to Midoriya, and he was like, I'm just getting started, and like a little bit of tears there, but he still had that anger and everything. But after the All Might thing happened, he had this pent up feeling of that he was the one that killed All Might, and then a lot of those feelings got released when he fought with Midoriya and everything. So it's just been a lot of really good, like, Bakugo emotionally might be one of the most well-rounded and like character developed characters I've seen in a while, that have gone from like one drastic change to another over the course of time, where it feels, because like I've seen plenty of like character changes in other shows where it's like, there's a bad guy and now he's suddenly your friend instantly, Like, Naruto does that a lot, where it's like they beat the bad guy and now suddenly they're helping us and everything. But I really love this one because I know Bakugo was never technically a bad guy, but he was a bully. He wasn't the nicest person. The way he treated people wasn't really how you should treat people. Yelling at them, asserting his, will onto them and stuff like that. It's just, but as we went through, he just slowly softened up to the point of this episode where, he's actually crying over what has happened to Midoriya and everything, So, but yeah, that was a really good scene. Uh, Same with Midoriya and All Might talking to each other. That was a nice scene too. All Might being like, they said they've never put so many bolts into someone, so he's definitely in rough shape. So I wonder if he's gonna be kind of like Endeavor, like stuck in a wheelchair or something, or will he be able to move around normally? I don't know if we ever saw him. I don't know if we saw him in the background of any of these moments that took place after Midoriya got out of the hospital. I don't think I saw him, but I guess I'm sure we'll see him some more as we go. But yeah, man. We had the graduation for Mirio and all of them. They're all moving on with life and out of school and everything. So, but the graduation ceremony seemed grand. The music was bopping. I really loved Mirio's speech, where like, he took it a little more seriously. He usually has his like jokes that like aren't funny, but they're like funny in the way that they're not funny, And in his line of like going from like heroes bring things from negative back to zero. That was such a good line because it really is true. We take these things that shouldn't exist in the first place, like villains and tragedies and stuff like that, and we try to get people back to where they were before, right? Like we take care of the bad guy, we rebuild the houses, but then you just leave them there and they're just back to what they were before. And I like that he talked about how like we should strive to go into the positive, and I think that's where we will truly succeed. And when we bring like joy and laughter, bringing the whole joy and laughter thing from Night Eye into it and all that, which was really great. I really loved it. But and then we had the last bit with the Todoroki family, with Toya somehow still being alive. This man survived the first fight with Shoto, stood up and used Shoto's ability, and then took off, and then we fought with the whole Todoroki family, like with him like exploding and all that, laying there like, I still hate you, and I thought he was dead there, but somehow he lives. He's just in a frickin' cryo tube, barely hanging on, but they did say his like death is approaching, so they're going to be stopping by. Obviously not all of them. Natsu's going to be leaving and everything. He's still, he was never able to get over it before, and he still can't. That's on him. I do feel like, personally, I feel like Endeavor has done enough right? To at least warrant, you know, if someone's going as far as Endeavor is to change, I think they warrant some support, if that makes sense, because it's so hard for people to change. There's so many people in this world that don't change. They just keep going on doing what they do, and they never take that first step, let alone the amount of steps that Endeavor has taken, you know. And if you don't give people the support when they're trying to change, then you're just gonna you might be the reason that they fall back into old habits, right? Now, don't get me wrong, like I said, it's completely up to Natsu. Like, that's his own feelings. Like, if he feels like he can't get over what happened to him as a kid, that's perfectly fine. You know, I'm not saying that people who have gone through trauma in their life should have to face that trauma constantly just to uh just to try to help the person that caused their trauma in the first place. But I do I do like that Endeavor is getting a little bit of support from the rest of his family in this too, you know? So it's I had a family member that was really deep into drugs to the point of getting, you know, doing stupid shit like assisting in armed robbery and all that. But at some point they turned themselves around and they stopped doing the drugs and they started doing better. They held down a job for the first time in forever, and they held an apartment for a long time. And, you know, we as a family tried to support that person, uh and now they've been doing really good for a long time now. Like, I'd say they're completely rehabilitated for the most part anyway. um but yeah, so that's kind of where I get my ideas that, like, people can change and sometimes they need the support to assist in that change. But anyways, guys, yeah, that was a really good moment. I like the moment when he like asked his brother like what his favorite food is, and he answers as he's being carried back, and it's the same food that Todoroki likes, and they or Shoto, and they both kind of shared in that moment. We got little tears from him. So yeah, I mean, I don't think I needed him to be alive still, but I do like that they're able to try to make amends a bit before the end and all that. So yeah. Anyway, I'm looking forward to seeing where we go next, because like I said, we kind of speed ran through. I mean, I don't think it went too quickly. I say speed ran, but I don't think it went too fast. But you know, they're into their second year already. We're 1 week later, we're rebuilding. You know, we're establishing all that. The help from the other states or other countries have come and everything. We dealt with like Bakugo learning kind of about what happened to Midoriya and how they're doing, and they're up and moving again. So it's like we covered a lot of ground. It makes me really hope that we do get what I had talked about, where we get some of like them even older past this and see how they fare. We'll have to wait and see. Thank you guys so much. That's going to be it from me. Hit that subscribe button if you enjoyed. Check out my Patreon if you want to see more. There's other shows and stuff on there. Links in the description should be popping up on the screen. And I will see you in my future reactions. Bye-bye.